Like lots of other little settlements in the Mississippi Delta, the Scott community owes its life to cotton. But there's something just a little different about this place. C.C. Craig knew he lived someplace special, but he didn't realize how special until I told him. Did you know that this area was owned by the Queen?
I didn't know it was owned by Queen. I just had heard that it was owned by English royalty.
That's right. Not just any English royalty. Her Majesty, the dearly departed Queen Elizabeth II, once owned a controlling interest in a British textile company. That company, in turn, in 1968, bought Delta and Pineland, headquartered here in Scott, Mississippi. Delta and Pineland once operated the biggest cotton plantation in the world, called the Queen's Farm. Thousands of acres where sharecroppers worked the land in exchange for housing and a share of the profits of harvest.
Well, there was a lot of sharecropping going on, and they had managers and sharecroppers running it, and that's back when they had mules too.
Some reports say the Scott community had such a good reputation for spreading its wealth, people came from all over to study its successful ways. Though the community remained segregated like many at the time, most say it shared its profits more equally than most, giving everyone a chance.
Because it's been Delta pine and land for all my life.
Kenneth Graham says Scott was always a bright spot in the Delta.
I mean, it was great. Money was great. School, there was stores, there was a grocery store, a bank. I mean, it was great growing up.
But not everyone agreed. A group calling itself African Americans for Economic Justice started a petition to get reparations from the Crown, but it only got 20 supporters. The Queen eventually sold her interest in the property here, but to this day it remains a very tight-knit, close community. Almost like the royal family, people here say.
That's the first time I've ever heard that.
Carl Guy Moore says knowing of the Queen's investment here in the colonies makes him feel almost royal.
I think it's awesome. I mean, you know, that I'm part of England, you know, and part of the Queen.
He remembers royally connected families would come to Scott once a year. He and other children in the town used to get pocket money to help entertain their British visitors. He remembers one trip to the movies with a young woman that taught him a lot about popcorn and the British.
When I carried him, we went to a movie, and I asked her if she wanted any popcorn. And she said yes. So I went and got popcorn and came back, and she took a bite and said, "Yeah, it's got salt all over it." And I said, "Yeah?" I said, "How do y'all eat that popcorn?" She said, "With sugar."
Most everyone seems to agree life in Scott was sweet indeed under British rule.
Matter of fact, the first job I ever had was right here doing plumbing work.
And even long after the Queen sold her holdings here, her spirit of hope and prosperity lingers in the Christmas displays along the bayou, the closeness of the people here, and their optimism, just like Her Majesty.
Yes, because tomorrow is coming, and everybody has a chance.
The company that started and ran this company town has changed hands several times and is now mostly known for the study of cotton.
There's a lot of history right here. Not only research, but blues.
And now add royalty to that, huh?
Yeah.
And now, with the Queen herself passing on, the people of Scott will say an extra prayer for Her Majesty as they bask in the glow of having been a part of her legacy.
That I feel like, I mean, I'm not royalty by no means, but it makes me feel, you know, like I am part of royalty.
Because for one brief shining moment in time, the people of Scott were one small part of the British crown worn by Queen Elizabeth. In Bolivar County, Dennis Turner, the Delta News.